Hello everyone. I hope by the time that you are seeing this video, you are either having or have had a good day. I'm making this video to talk about taking care of yourself. Taking care of yourself, because this world and this society will not. I think from the time that we are born and we come into the world, we're born into a system to where human beings are nurtured up to be machines for the economy. From the time that we enter into grade school, we're being shaped and conditioned to fit into a role or a position in this machine of our world economy. And that is what we're trained to find our validation in. That is what we're trained to find our purpose in. That is where we're trained to grow to believe that our highest function of life is existent. But often, more times than not, most of us, reach a point in this societal system, matrix, economy, whatever you want to call it, where we realize that it drains us, more than it gives life back to us. And that's not the case for every person, so I don't want to state that exclusively. But for many of us who are seekers of, deeper substance in life and, well-being and health and a sound mind and, things that are richer than money. Let me say that again. For those of us who are seekers of things that are richer than money, most of us, we all inevitably come to a point where we realize that this world system is not a caterer to that type of spiritual vibration and to that type of thinking process. We're shaped to get a role, and you fulfill that role, and you work in that role 5 days a week, at least 8 hours a day, and you do that for 45, 50 years, and you call it a life. But for many of us, that's not good enough. For many of us, that falls significantly short of what we envision for life, or the purpose that we see for our life, or what we deem as a healthy and fulfilling, beautiful, passionate existence. Many of us are looking for something greater. Many of us are looking for something higher. So I'm making this video just to encourage you to take care of yourself, because this society will not give you the room or the space that you need to take care of yourself as you should. So you have to make it a higher priority than the society will, because if you're operating according to the society, you have a 9 to 5, you have to go to work each and every day. And if you have a family, you have kids and so forth, you got responsibilities here, bills here, obligations here. It's easy to get caught up in a scuffle to where you're moving like a machine. You're moving like a machine, and this can be your life for years and years. You're moving like a machine, and then life starts to wear you down, and that tick starts to get slower and slower and slower. Your vibrancy starts to go. Your passion for life starts to go. Your optimism for life starts to go. Your energy, the great possibilities that you can see begins to become more and more limited as your mind begins to narrow and narrow, and your heart begins to tighten up because of the stress, the anxiety, the pressure, the life of not actually living a journey that is fulfilling for your heart, that you're passionate about, but you're more so doing it out of obligations, whether to your bills, your financial commitments, whatever it might be, to your family. Now you've had kids and you haven't really had the time or space to really find yourself, and now you really don't have the time or space to really find yourself. This is the cycle that most of us get caught up in, and in order to escape that, we have to consciously escape that, little by little, bit by bit. For some of us, that's a tall task because of how deeply we are entrenched with our obligations and our responsibilities, and this the way that our life is set up. But you know what they say, how do you eat an elephant? You eat it one small bite at a time. So that's how we have to approach the journey of self-care, coming out of the world and beginning to love on ourselves more, beginning to prioritize ourselves more, beginning to give back to ourselves more. We have to do it one small step at a time. We have to find those little areas of time that we have and where we're not doing anything really productive. So instead of that time that we spend watching TV for 2-3 hours after work, or doing anything that might not be productive, let's begin to make the sacrifices there, as far as using that time to either read, do, see, watch, hear, listen to something that could feed our spirit, that could give back to us, instead of being drained and trying to numb the pain of constantly being drained and distract ourselves from the fact that we are miserable. How about we do something that could help our mind and our heart? Read that book, that you've always felt inclined to read. Meditate, do yoga, get outside in nature, breathe some fresh air, do something that's outside of your system that you do all of the time. Do something that's outside of your comfort zone, which has created this beautiful crystal glass prison that you live in, because things seem normal, but inside you're tired. You're tired, you're stressed, you're overwhelmed, you're burdened, and to the point now that you've endured in this condition so long, it's possibly even turned into bitterness, or it's possibly even turned into pessimism, and that stress and that negative energy has maybe even turned into sickness. But it's time for you to begin to make the decisions that will liberate yourself, and you need to give back to yourself. You need to take care of yourself, because guess what? I know you've heard this 1,000 times before, and I know you know this. We give so much to our jobs, we give so much to our finances, but listen, if you die today, your job will replace you tomorrow. So yeah, it's great to have, to take care of our responsibilities. That's very important. But we also have to take care of ourselves, because guess what? We only get, for as far as we know, the moment and the present is all that we have. The past is gone and the future is unmade yet, but the present right now is all that we have. And we really need to seize the moment and take advantage. For all that we do to try to do our best and maintain in this life, we deserve to take care of ourselves. We deserve to do a little something for ourselves here and there. We need to be more conscious and of what we need in the moments that we need it, because if we go long times neglecting ourselves and not really being mindful of what we need at the current moment, that stress turns into anger, and the next thing you know, we become fatigued with our life, and every little thing that sets us off into an anger episode. Every little thing that sets us off into a bout of depression, or misery, or whatever it might be. Or we're just constantly frustrated. We're stuck in a cycle of being miserable and weighed down, and we don't know how to escape. And when we get to that point, it's the number one symptom of us not putting enough energy into our self-care. We need to begin to do things that relieves our mind from the pressures and the stress that we experience on a daily basis. Meditation is good for that. Doing a little bit more exercise, getting out in nature, breathing some fresh air, get around some trees, some greenery. Allow yourself to be in an environment where those energies don't have anything to relate to, and that way your spirit and your mind can grab hold to something new, something refreshing, something that gives you life instead of draining you. And also, taking care of ourselves looks like making sure we're giving our body what it needs, because if our body is unhealthy, that plays a large part into the way we feel overall. So if we aren't prioritizing giving ourselves anything healthy to eat or to nourish us, that could very well affect our daily mood and our overall perspective in life, our overall feeling, that the way that we experience life. Because when we start to eat more healthy foods and we start to prioritize our health, it increases our vitality, and that gives us a stronger sense of well-being and good health, and that gives us more energy and optimism for life. And once we have a more positive vitality, then our mind can begin to see greater possibilities for what we can do and what we can create, and it helps us see greater possibilities for the ways that we can transform ourselves and the way that we can transform our life and our journey. And even it helps us see greater possibilities for the impact that we can have in the world. This world is set up to drain us. From the time that we were born, we're being shaped to be machines for the economy. And I know each and every one of us has something inside of us that tells us we are greater than that. We are worth more than that. We are more valuable than that. To be a collateral damage for a society that is out of whack anyway, where the people that are the heads of this society are the most corrupt, evil beings that you can imagine. So it's important that we don't submit our entire existence to be the collateral for people who do not care about us, for a system that does not care about us. You know, we have to be the ones to love ourselves, to take care of ourselves, to nurture ourselves, to give ourselves what we need so that we can be able to see the possibilities that are here for us in this life, so that we can be able to obtain, you know, our greatest version and our greatest possible life experience. But it starts with self-care. It starts with, you know, learning how to manage your responsibilities, but also give yourself what you deserve and need to be functioning at your highest level, at your highest vitality, with your greatest energy, and being able to achieve your greatest potential. I thank you for tuning into this video. Please like this video and also subscribe to the channel, as I will begin to post regularly. I think this is my third video in a row, so I am really set to post regularly and build a nice community here on YouTube of like-minded individuals. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.